Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan Mayo. I make videos about politics, about economics, about finance, about anything that I want to share with you guys that I think is interesting and contributes to the greater good. If you like the video, please feel free to hit the like button. If you want to see more, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you guys rocking with me. Today's video is going to be about the latest and greatest with regards to the transition between President Trump and President-elect Biden. I'm going to give you an update on the latest lockdowns coming to California, possibly elsewhere. I'm going to also update you on the latest with the stimulus talks, the economies. We had a jobs numbers that have come out today, and some good news at the end, a vaccine update. See what the state of play with regards to a vaccine to get us out of this global crisis. So first and foremost, transition update. Of course, the president, Donald Trump, has not conceded yet to President-elect Joe Biden. There are still several cases being adjudicated throughout the country in the swing states. So far, Donald Trump is 31-0, meaning he has lost 31 court cases. He has won none. He did win one, but it ended up getting overturned on appeal, so he has lost that one as well. 4 lawyers for the Trump administration representing the president in Pennsylvania have withdrawn from their case. Georgia has just finished their recount. A judge also rejected a lawsuit disputing the results. Joe Biden is the apparent winner of Georgia. We expect those results to be certified Friday the 20th of November. That's their deadline to certify the results. So you can kind of see a pattern here. States are starting to certify results. That kind of starts to cement what's going on. There was something else that happened in Michigan that I think is important to talk about. Local officials in Wayne County, which is where Detroit is, they were deadlocked on a vote to certify their vote. It was 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans, and it was a 2-2 vote. And they were, the Republican representatives were claiming fraud and this and that, and they were having town halls with the public, and they just got eviscerated by their public. Claims of voter disenfranchisements and the like, and social media started to get behind this, outing who these people were. By the end of the night, they voted again, and it was unanimous for them to certify the results. Of course, after this, the president was not happy with that. He actually made a phone call to those representatives. He's inviting them to the White House. Those 2 conservative representatives have requested to rescind their certification, but the Secretary of State in Michigan said there's no such thing as that. Those results are going to be presented to the state, and Michigan's deadline is a little later. I think it's in December, so we'll see their results get certified and locked in by then. I also wanted to give an update on this latest on the stimulus talks. President Trump did tweet out that he is interested in getting some stimulus to Americans. We know the Democrats are also interested in that, and really what's holding up that process is the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, because with Trump looking like he's on his way out, there's really no incentive for Mitch McConnell politically to do any business with the Democrats. What he may be looking to do is go back to his posture during the Obama years, which is do nothing, help them accomplish nothing, and then during the midterms, point out that they've accomplished nothing. That was a very successful strategy for Mitch McConnell in both 2010 midterms and 2014 midterms, where the Republicans absolutely walloped the Democrats. And I suspect that may have some success as well moving forward. Which disappoints me, of course, because I think people are really, really hurting. Today's jobless claims, there are 742,000 people who are newly out of work. That's a big number. The economy is starting to slow down. The stimulus is almost completely worn off. We have reports of major cities with food lines and food insecurity greater than it was during the Great Depression. So we really do have a circumstance here in a situation where our fellow Americans are in dire need of support, and it would be really great if our elected officials could put politics aside to simply help people. I honestly believe that if the President Trump put politics aside and just helped people, he would have skated to re-election. he would have skated to re-election. But instead, what it looks like he really did was he capitulated to Republicans. He allowed them to set the agenda. He allowed them to bail out big banks and to do the things that we normally see during trying economic times when there's either divided government or Republicans are in charge. But that wasn't actually in the president's interest. And I think in this election, he really paid for that. There's so many people across the country who voted against the president, but voted for a Republican senator and a Republican representative. There was a lot of what they call ballot or ticket splitting. People weren't happy with the president, but they want the government to work together. They don't want it to go too far left, too far right. I think that's generally the disposition of most Americans. So I'm not surprised by that at all. And I think that the president missed a huge opportunity to sail to re-election and be a hero by helping people. And that's going to be the big challenge for President-elect Biden, is how is he going to work with Republicans? How is he going to get these bills passed? People need help right now. They need real help. The government needs to be more aggressive than it's ever been, more than it was in 2008, maybe even rivaling the Great Depression as far as direct help and resources to normal people. It's simple as that. The banks have plenty of help. They've got plenty of resources. There's plenty of money to go around. We need to get help to people who can directly affect the economy itself, especially if the global health situation is going to require more lockdowns and more people and businesses that may be on the edge of going out of work or going out of business. We need to support people. If you're going to ask someone to sit at home, to not be able to support their family so that we can get this situation medically under control, then we have to support the people. That's just common sense. And I think that there is a real opportunity for Republicans and Democrats to work together, but what really needs to happen is the president needs to allow his transition team, to work with the president-elect Joe Biden's transition team. That just has to happen. It's not a huge deal yet because the states haven't certified, the electors haven't shown up yet to Washington to vote in the Electoral College, but that's going to happen in mid-December. That's going to happen, I believe, around December 14th. And when that happens, that's when we really need to start amping up pressure publicly. And I don't mean that liberals, I don't mean that Republican. I mean us as an American family need to come together. We need to have those conversations. We need to put all these policy issues that we can argue about later aside so that we can help normal people. That's what needs to happen. We need to put all that aside. All those issues of policy, all those differences, just throw those aside for a second, hit the pause button. Let's go help normal people. Let's save the country from economic calamity. And then we can earn the right to argue over tax cuts and or tax increases and policies on this or that. But first we've got to help our people. Because if we're not helping our people, then what's the point of the government? It really doesn't do anything if it doesn't help normal folks. So that's the latest on the stimulus. I do think there's an opportunity there to get something done. I just don't know. The political incentive for Republicans to work with Democrats is basically zero. They are incentivized to not work with Democrats and to go to war politically with Democrats. And when they do that, their voters respond to that. Their voters reward that. And when they work with Democrats, their voters by and large punish them. So I think us as voters need to take a step back and see and ask ourselves, what role are we playing in this greater division that we have in the country, and what can we do to set the example and to dictate to our elected officials what we expect of them and what kind of behavior and what kind of things we expect for them to get done, because I think a lot of the reason they're not getting anything done is because we're not making them. If you don't make them, they're not going to do it, and that's just how politics works. No one just gives you power; you have to go take it. That's the nature of it. I did also want to talk about, of course, the new lockdowns. Governor Newsom has announced over 94% of California residents will be under what they call the purple tier lockdown, which is the highest level, most restricted lockdown. And the reason behind that is that hospitalizations are up 48%. ICU occupancy is up 39%, and it's starting to put a strain even on a very strong healthcare network in California. Probably the strongest and largest in the country. Definitely the strongest and largest in the country. But it's putting a strain on that. So they're asking during this holiday season that we stay with our immediate families, that we practice social distancing, wear masks. The same thing they've been saying the whole time that we've done good jobs of listening to, and sometimes bad jobs of listening to, because we're just human beings, and this is a difficult situation, and sometimes we just got to get out there and be with other people, and I completely understand it. But this is an important time, because there's other states like Utah, where they have areas and counties where their ICU beds are completely out. They don't have a single other bed, and that's also been the case in places like El Paso, where they've hired folks from prison to come work their morgues, move their dead bodies because they're out of space. Like, it's starting to become that type of situation. Some of the things that they warned us about in the past seem to be coming to fruition, and I think it's really important for us to start hunkering down, get through this, because there is some light at the end of the tunnel, and the light at the end of the tunnel is we have 2 viable vaccines, both a Pfizer vaccine that any day now they may request emergency authorization to start producing and getting out to the public so it could be here by December. How accessible it may be, I don't know, because the Pfizer vaccine requires sub-temperature storage, which is going to make it really hard to get to people. I've seen reports that it could take up to a year to really get that vaccine out to people. I know some folks at Pfizer have been talking and kind of saying that might be the case, that might be the timeline, but we'll see about that. But also Moderna, a company that I've been following, that I've invested in at times, their vaccine has a 90+% efficacy rate, which is great. One of the things that we're trying to find out with these vaccines is, are we achieving stabilized immunity, or are we achieving functional immunity? And according to my research, stabilized immunity, it means a true immunity. It's going to keep you from getting COVID, and it's going to keep you from transmitting it, and it's going to keep you from getting deathly ill. Whereas a functional immunity, you may get COVID, you may be able to transmit it, but it's going to keep you from getting deathly ill. And that's a big deal. I think they had 11 cases with Moderna in the trial, where the placebo, they had 11 people who got hospitalized, that level of ill, and with the folks who got the vaccination, there were none, 0. So that's really good news. That gives us a lot of hope for what can go down. I just think at the end of the day, what we really need to do as a public is come together and start making our voices heard as a force. Whether the president wants to have litigation, that's his right, and we should accept that. But at the same time, he needs to open up his staff and the bureaucracy itself to the transition team of Joe Biden. If it turns out in 2 months he's declared the president, that he's won re-election, so be it. But until that happens, the apparent winner and the president-elect is Joe Biden. He's up in several states. The odds of those states being overturned are just 0 to none. It's just not going to happen. What the president's really trying to do, I think, is more posture for a 2020 run, freeze the Republican electorate, so everyone who thinks they might run in 2024 isn't going to run because Donald Trump's there, and that's his party. He's the star of the party. And in that sense, politically, I think that's smart. But at the same time, we're in this time now where we have to save lives. We have to take care of our American family. And I think that one way we need to do that is to prepare for a transition for a president-elect Joe Biden, so that he can get into the government agencies. He can see the data that Donald Trump has, or his administration has, on COVID-19, on the vaccines, on the treatments, on the infrastructure. Where's all the PPE? Where are the masks? Where are the ventilators? Where are they stored at? He can get with his team, and we can start to make a plan based on that. And I think that's going to really be the best for us. And I'm going to have updates in the future of how this goes, and keep you guys up to date with what's going on. Is this going well? Do we have a problem? I'm not worried yet with regards to the C word that some people have used, which is coup. Do I think Donald Trump's trying a coup? Yeah, probably. But I don't think it has any chance of working. And so far, it just has run into nothing but roadblocks. I don't know if you guys saw the Rudy Giuliani press conference, but that honestly, objectively, was a mess. He's, quoting clips from My Cousin Vinny, the movie. Like, it was that bad. His hair dye is leaking across his face. It was just, maybe I'll link a picture in the comment section or something. But that was crazy. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoy the video. I hope there's some information that might help you make some decisions for you and your family. Just get a sense of what's going on out there, right? There's so much clutter. There's so much misinformation. I just like to get down to take politics and take the the policy debates, the ideology away, and just say what can help people, what can't. And it doesn't matter which party or which person's idea it is. If we win together, we all go to the bank together, right? That's a saying from, I'm in the auto industry. It's a saying from the auto industry. Let's all go to the bank together. Let's all win together. Let's all strive together. And that's really what this is all about. Let's not leave anybody behind. So if you like the video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and feel free. Did I miss something? Let me know in the comments. Do you have any questions? What's your opinion on things? Do you think there's going to be a stimulus? Right? What do you think of these vaccines? Would you take the vaccine? Right? Those are interesting questions. Some people argue maybe the vaccine's being rushed. I'd love to hear what you guys think. I'm Ryan Mayo. I appreciate you taking the time. Thank you for riding with me. Till next time.